Okay, so you put 2 up there, and then legend has it, the phone rang, you know, boop, 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 ring, ring, and then you answer, and who called you, or what happened next?
The local cable channel, Cox, they offered to air the show 20 times a week on Cox Channel 3, which is like a local channel, and so.
Do you remember the euphoria? Were you on fire when you heard that? Were you like, are you kidding me?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was just supposed to be online. It was like more of a fun thing than a business perspective.
Yeah.
But it has grown into something.
What did you do?
More.
I mean, immediately when they called you, what happened? What did you do?
What was that? 5 years ago.
I mean, did you just like high five your mom? Did you?
I think my mom and I were like ecstatic about it. It was
really. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I think the thing is, anybody watching this, if you have this business idea and you don't know where to start, if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of resources, it's just starting. Napoleon Hill, the success author, says that action is the real measure of intelligence. The whole idea is that if you just take action with your passion, that's kind of where some things happen. Now, Remy, the billionaire TV mogul, some people might have heard of her, Oprah. Oprah says passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Why does cooking excite you?
I mean, I just love to be in the kitchen. I love working with food. At first I really just loved eating food. And so I really got into more of what the food was made of. And so I like to absorb like as much education and knowledge about food as I can. Like I love to learn food history, like different facts that people really probably don't know about, like food. And so I just love to cook. I love food. Yeah.
Now let me ask you this here: if I'm an adult or a teenager, if I'm anybody if I'm a human watching this, what advice would you give me on getting started if I want to start a business like you did?
Well, I mean, first you have to follow your passion. I mean, something you really love, you love to do, you should always do something you love to do. Because if you don't do something you love, then, well, it's not.
What's the point?
Yeah, well, it's pointless. And so after you found your passion, then you should go after it. It's always about, like Oprah said, it's taking, well, it's
kind of taking your energy and acting on it.
Yeah, taking your energy and acting on it. So you got to use what you love to your advantage.
You know, an action item anybody watching this can do, something that we can all do here, is if you'll just make a list of 5 things that you're passionate about. I mean, write them down just as fast as you can. 5 things you're passionate about doing, and research them and see if there's a business idea there. Because really, a business is just you're solving a problem for people that they're willing to pay for. And the reality is if people weren't willing to pay you to watch for you to produce the program, then you wouldn't have a business. But people are willing to pay you to come speak. People are willing to pay you to teach them cooking, and so you do have a business. So I think it's just writing down 5 things you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about, eating pickles, you're probably not going to get paid for that, right? So you might have to cross that one off. But if hopefully there's something on that list of things you're passionate about, there's something in there that you can get paid for. And I think another example I can throw out, I know a guy who's passionate about movies. Passionate about movies. And today he's a movie critic. Like that's what he does. Is he writes about movies for different publications. I mean, you can get paid to almost solve any kind of problem. And so I think it's exciting. Now, starting a business, in my mind, is just looking for a problem that exists that you can solve and that people are willing to pay for in large enough quantities to pay you. However, Napoleon Hill, the late great success author, he wrote a lot about how fear has kept a lot of people from starting a business. And he wrote, "The habit of looking for the negative side of every circumstance, thinking and talking of possible failure instead of concentrating upon the means of succeeding. Knowing all the roads to disaster but never searching for the plans to avoid failure. Waiting for the right time to begin putting ideas and plans into action until waiting becomes a permanent habit. Remembering those who have failed and forgetting those who have succeeded. Seeing the hole in the donut but overlooking the donut." This is what fear is all about. Have you had people, as you're working on this, who've started to say, well, what if it doesn't work?
In the beginning, I had a lot of people who really didn't believe that like a 10-year-old could pull this off. Yeah. And look at me 4 years later. It's really interesting to see like people, like when you're young, a lot of people will tend to undermine you really because you're so young. They don't think that you can do it. And so that's really like the issue with a lot of, I think, young people who want to start a business, but like the fear of like not being able to do it and the rejection of it. But what they don't really realize is that if you really put your heart and your mind to it, then you can do it.